Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Matajis. Again, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. I understand how difficult it is, to get time on Sunday, and especially tolerating a person like me for almost like 3 hours. So, it is definitely not an easy task to prepare and present, but it is further 10 times not an easy task to tolerate, for 3 hours, right? And that too on a Sunday, right? Thank you very much for again, uh, for having decided to spend some time doing this satsang. So, okay. Now, before starting, let's do a recap of this session, because I was actually expecting few new people. Whether I'm not sure if they have joined, but let's do a recap of what we have done before. So, the first session that we did is In Search of Happiness, in which we try to understand what are the uh, what are the four different problems, right? And in the first session itself, we understood that there are three modes of miseries: Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adyaivika. And the main problems are Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, right? And we understood what is the difference between a human being and an animal, which is nothing but human beings have intelligence, Atata Brahma Jignasha, right? Then we understood that someone has given us these problems, right? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. We want to understand. That is God. So we want to understand, is God a creation of human mind, or does he really exist? Then we try to understand what is the real source of truth. That is nothing but the scriptures, right? Then we try to understand what are the three modes of material nature. Um, you know, Tamo, Rajo, and Sattva. And there is something that is beyond all these three, that is Suddha Sattva, right? Then we try to understand who actually can show us God. What is the importance of a guru, and how to understand scriptures with help of guru. And we are sure that, without a guru, we cannot understand scriptures well, right? And then we try to understand in the last session, who am I, which is like a, deal breaking session, right, last week. So I'm sure that we all have enjoyed last session, and I'm sure that once after you went back, um, did you go and look in the mirror next day morning to understand, is it real me, or is it someone else, or is it its soul? How many of you have actually, when you went back and then next day morning when you started looking at the mirror, how many people have got this question, who am I? Prabhujis and Matajis, how many people have got this question, that who am I? Anand Prabhu, did you try to understand? Did you get that question when you look at the mirror the next day morning?
I
Shaurya, you got that question?
Yes.
Nice. So what did?
One time I was seeing one session. Then all are all others and go some there were saying spiritual.
Mhm.
Then I think who are they? Who are I?
Revolve.
In the God's mind, who am I? In our parents, who am I? Like
Nice.
that.
Very good. Anand Prabhu, Revati Mataji, did you get that question after, Yeah, Anand Prabhu is pinging. I was thinking of it every moment, but didn't see in mirror. Great. Nice. Yeah, if we have got that realization of who are we, or who am I after the previous session, then yes, it is something to do with what we have learned. So that session has done something to us, is what we can say, right? Okay. Now, in today's session, we are going to talk about what really is death and what happens after life. Is it a topic to be discussed? Most of the times, this topic is avoided, right? Most of the times, this topic is avoided. Okay, let me share the presentation. Yeah, here it is. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see the presentation? Hare Krishna.
हाँ प्रभुजी.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, is death a topic to be discussed? Most of the times, when someone talks about death, we become uncomfortable. For that matter, in my childhood, not even during my childhood, even when I was like, in my teens, my parents used to ask me to go in the other route, not on the route where the dead body is there. And at times, when dead body is taken over on the road, people used to say just to do namaskar and go away from it. I mean, let's not be there. So, any guesses why we do not prefer to talk about death? Last session we were actually talking. We were talking about getting a ticket to South Africa, a free ticket with the entire family. The only thing is that the other side we don't know what is there, so we were very uncomfortable. We didn't want to go there, right? So this session, what we will do is we will try to understand what is there after death. Then I think, see, usually what happens is we kind of cannot, when we cannot think of what is there on the other side of the road, we try to avoid that road. That is what happens even with death, right? If we have to go to US for the first time, maybe we'll think twice, but once we go there, next time onwards we really enjoy going there, right? Like that, even when it comes to death, we are worried about, we don't want to discuss about death because we don't know what is there waiting on the other side, right? After life, after death, we are not sure. So that is something that we'll try to understand today. What are the different ways, or what are the different destinations that we have after the soul leaves the body? And if we really know what is there on the other side, either we will get, depending on the destination and the environment there, we will have to, we either will become comfortable, or we think like, okay, is this after death? But on the other hand, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, we always have the choice. We have got the free will to choose where we want to go and what we can make our destination as. All these things we'll try to understand in today's session. Before to that, if we have any questions, maybe I will take. Otherwise, we'll continue with the session. Any questions, Prabhuji and Matajis?
Prabhuji, you can say just after that, not that before just 5 minutes, what will be happening to our mind and our body, to inside our organs?
Sorry, Prabhu, your voice is breaking. Is there someone who can actually translate and who can actually speak that question again for me? Or can you repeat, Saurya?
Yes.
Yeah, please repeat.
You can say when after that, not before that, 5 minutes, what will be happen?
Yeah, we will discuss.
Mind.
Yeah, before to death, before 5 minutes before to death, what will happen and all. Yeah, we will discuss. Yes, we will discuss in this session. Sorry, yeah, sure. We are going to discuss that in this session. So we will discuss about some secrets of death, what happens after death, and how we can actually change the destination after death. All these things we are going to discuss today, right? Yeah, if we want to talk about what happens during death, the soul leaves the body, and after that, what happens to the body? There can be, okay, let's talk about different religions. In Hinduism, the body is burnt, and in Christianity, it is buried, right? And in Zoroastrians, the body is thrown to be eaten by vultures, right? In Islam, again, it is buried, right? Different, and in Buddhism, again, it is buried with a cloth wrapping around. So if you look at all these things, in every religion or philosophy, death is same. And last session we understood that death is inevitable, right? Ahani ahani bhutani, the Yaksha Prashna asked to Yudhishthir by the Yaksha, right? And Yudhishthir said, ahani ahani bhutani, there are so many people dying, but everyone is seeing the people who are dying, but still they are working as if they are going to live forever. That is the beauty. But at the same time, everyone is going to die. And after that, what happens? The body will become either earth or ash or stool. So when it is buried, it becomes earth. When it is burnt, it becomes ash. When it is thrown to be eaten by vultures, it becomes stool and come out of the vultures' bodies, right? So, yeah. So
మ్యూట్ ఎట్లా చేయాలి అన్మ్యూట్ చేయాలన్నా నాన్న అమ్మ చెప్పండి.
yeah, so yeah, okay, I mute everyone. If you want to speak, please unmute yourself and speak. So when death happens, the body will be transformed into either earth, ash, or stool. One of these three things is what is going to happen. Now, truth from Bhagavad Gita, actually the ultimate form or format of this body are three. Either it becomes stool, or it becomes ash, or it becomes earth, right? Now, why is death a subject not preferred to be discussed by modern human society? Why? Any guesses why death is not a topic that is recommended? Okay, leaving what we discussed just now, uh, uh, any other guesses why death is not a topic to be discussed?
Because the soul can be attached to our body.
Yeah,
I think.
correct. The soul can be attached to our body. Yeah, anything else? Yeah, and one of the main reasons why death is not recommended to be a topic that is discussed is death brings in inauspiciousness. And the reason why we think that it's inauspicious is it keeps us away from God, right? So if you look at it, many people say he's resting in peace, but he's technically, we don't know whether he's resting in peace or he's resting in somewhere else, right? But we don't, in modern days, the death is not a topic to be discussed because people do not want to prepare for death. We will understand why we have to prepare for death, right? Death is not a topic to be not to be discussed. It is a topic that has to be discussed because death, in fact, if we do all good karma as per the manual, that is Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, we will actually reach our Supreme Father, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So death is not something that is not to be discussed. It's always a topic to be discussed. So what does modern people say? Before going into what is death, let's discuss why our consciousness changes over our duration, right? So in modern days, it is called intelligent living. What is intelligent living? Learn only to earn, right? For example, if I go to, yesterday I went to one of my friend and I started telling him, I met him after maybe a year or so, something like that. I went to him and then I started talking to him, how is family, how is life and all. He's a businessman. He started cribbing, saying that, hey, my mother has got this leg pain and there is a problem in her ligament, right? Because of the problem in ligament, I have to spend 1.5 lakh for the operation. Now it is not just the operation, right? We have to go and stay there. That is another 1 lakh. So it is overall 2.5 lakhs. He's telling all these things at the same time. He's telling that, it is our responsibility to take care of parents. If it is your responsibility to take care of your parents, why are you cribbing about it, right? So he was literally cribbing. He's a businessman, and and after that he started cribbing about how others are earning, right? So what happened is, how others are earning is not in your hands. You earning yourself is in your hands. But the moment you start looking at others and then start cribbing about how others are earning, which is not in your hands, it adds anxiety to your life, right? Now, if you look at the reason why the cribbing is happening, it is everything is revolving around earning, right? So when I started talking to him, you are trying to think about I didn't directly go and say, you have to read Gita, then every problem is solved, then he will give me a tight slap, right? So that's not going to work because he's my friend. He can actually, has that, what do you call, chanu to do that. But I didn't tell him that, I told him that, it is our responsibility to take care of your parents. It is not just only our responsibility to take care of our parents' health. At the same time, it is important to make sure that they are well settled, not in this life, even in the next life. And I told him little bit thing about, it is important to read scriptures because we have to read our manual and all. Then he said, see, I'm not worried about all this. I'm all the time worried about is it giving me money or not? Once I get 100 rupees, I will give some 10 rupees to someone, someone who doesn't have food. Then I asked him, tell me one person who is dying out of not having food. He said, no one. Then why are you talking about giving in charity? Right? Yeah, I give in charity because to purify the earnings that I'm doing. Yeah, that is true. You have to purify your earnings by giving charity. But why is it so centered around earning? So the moment learning is centered around earning, that will become a problem. If you look at why we are focusing on earning, we are focusing on earning because to secure our life. but it is an indirect way of securing life. But what is the real security for life? The real security for life is to go back home, back to Godhead. So our learning should be to prepare. Our learning should be towards the preparation to back home, back to Godhead, not to earn. Right? Let's go further. So first we will learn only to earn, then work around the clock to earn big pay. We have to earn like, we have to work like dogs and hogs 24/7, 365 days. Good that we have only 24 hours. Otherwise, we would have worked even for 48 hours. Okay? So learn only to earn and then work like dogs and hogs, right? Earn big. Now go abroad. This is another big thing that every parents nowadays asking. Or, at least your neighbors will ask, haven't you? I mean, again, I went and met a couple of my doctor friends, my classmates who are doctors. Both of them, they asked me a question. Did you go abroad? I said, yes. Then why didn't you stay there back? I mean, why did you come back? Why you did not stay there? That was the next question they had, right? So this is another big problem, right? Everything is revolved around, the Western countries. Did you go to onset? If you go, why did you come back? Either they want to listen to that, you're thrown out from there, or, they want to listen to that your visa got expired, right? They don't ask you with the intent that, you have to earn better and then settle in your family, because it is not centered around God. It is not centered around Krishna. That is the whole problem, right? Now, yeah, it is not, this has become another certificate, like that you have degree, you have engineering, going abroad and having that visa stamping is another certificate nowadays, right? Then after that, spend more than needed. At times we spend, even in my life, it has happened, there are certain clothes that we used to buy. And even when we move from one house to another house, then we will take it out. We were like, oh, we bought this also. So it is like that. So we spend so much on credit cards that we don't even know what all we have bought, whether it is needed or not, we buy, right? And then party hard, right? Celebrate without limits. And we always, if you look at all these parties, they all happen in the night. They don't happen in daytime because of two reasons. Because one, it disturbs others, and the other thing is you don't know what will happen during night parties, right? Have you ever observed that why only the noodle shops are open in the night? You don't know. You can't see what has been put in there in that, right? So if you want to celebrate in daytime. Now, what is the problem, right? Now, dine outside all day, right? Actually, nowadays there has come up a new concept. The apartments, 14, 15 storied buildings are built. I heard that there are certain apartments where the entire floor is made for kitchen, right? And in the individual apartments, you will not have a kitchen, which means you don't have to cook in your house. You just that, call that fellow and then tell him that, I need 2 chapati and one paneer butter masala. That will come to your apartment. It's just that, every time you want to eat, you just have to order. You don't have. So imagine the pathetic situation. The apartments are there without a kitchen. So you don't have a kitchen in your apartment. So like that, the recent days, apartments are also built to save space, not to have a kitchen. It is so pathetic, right? And intoxicate and forget. So what happens when during intoxication? During intoxication, what happens is you will forget. You will completely forget which guna you are in, right? And then sleep early in the morning, not early in the evening, early in the night. Sleep early in the morning, then have a lot of pills. So, for example, if anyone of you have gone to Western countries or on-site jobs, right? You will find two kinds of people there, either fit and fine or fat and stout, right? So, I mean, the reason why I'm actually trying to mention this is when someone is fit and fine, it doesn't mean that they have no health issues, right? You go and ask them and open their backpack and look at it. You will have so many vitamins and minerals, pills in their backpack, right? Someone is fit doesn't mean that, they will not have any. So the problem is, we have disturbed the biological clock. For example, if you look at trees, how are they living? If you put a tree in a dark room, will it survive? No, it will not survive. It will die. Like the same applies even to us. So when sun is coming up, we have to start working. And when sun sets, it is time to relax and sleep. So sun is a biological clock that was given to us by the Supreme Lord, right? So we have to follow the clock that is decided by the Supreme Lord. Everything that is given by him, we are eating. Likewise, every decision that is made by him, if we follow, it is something like this. At times when we go and inculcate bad habits, our parents keep on saying, hey, don't do that, don't do that. But at the end of the day, if we are not doing it, even parents cannot do it. If we are not stopping doing it, parents also cannot stop, right? Like that, what happens is even the Supreme Lord, the God, gives us instructions indirectly. Like, when sun rises, we have to get up, and when sun sleeps, we also have to sleep, like that. We just have to follow. Otherwise, we have to suffer all kinds of problems, right? Now, finally, what happens? Enjoy life and die young. In nowadays, there are so many problems that are cancer has become so popular. Anyone knows the reason? What is cancer? Cancer is nothing but the abnormal behavior of the cells, biological cells. It could be cells in an organ, or it could be cells in the body, or it could be cells in the blood, right? Cancer is nothing but the abnormality that is there present in the cells, right? Now, the problem is, if we play around with these body cells, in the sense, as we have discussed in the last session, every molecule in the body will have a life in it, right? And that life requires to listen to by the nature principles or laws of nature. If it is not listening, it will have a problem. Now, why there are so many deaths happening in young age? Because we are crucifying the body. There are call centers, there are 24/7 support centers. Why are we doing all these things? Because to earn. So everything starts in the first left quadrant, that learn only to earn, right? The moment it is earning centric, this is what will happen. Yeah, there is nothing wrong in earning. If you can always earn better than any other 24/7 earning person. So if you earn proper, for example, if someone is earning and dying at 40 years, does it make any sense? It definitely doesn't make any sense. But what if there are many people who starts earning at the age of 40 years. I know one person. I mean, last time I gave an example of my father's friend, right? Who was whom I tried to kind of convince on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. He is very filthy rich. He became rich after his 50s. He started earning at 50. Now he's maybe 63, 64. He became a trillionaire. He doesn't know how many crores of property he has. So, if you safeguard your health, you will have a good life. At the same time, you can earn also. And it doesn't matter, right? When you earn, at the end of the day, earning is your goal. Instead of you earning a lot and then dying at 40 and 50, start earning with a good health at 40, and then keep on earning till 60, and then relax. And till from 60 to 80 years, we can practice God consciousness. I mean, rigorous God consciousness in the sense. It doesn't mean that we should not start God consciousness at 40. What I meant is from 60, take, take leave from all the household work and then concentrate completely on, God consciousness life, right? That is what is recommended. What is retirement? Retirement doesn't mean that retiring from every single work. Retiring means retire from the major responsibilities of earning and focus completely on God consciousness so that you prepare well for your final destination is what it means, right? Okay. Now this is called foolish dying, right? Now how our intelligence to question anything is stolen by media, right? Many a times now what it means is how our intelligence to question anything is stolen by media means media has told us so much. It has really flooded so many things into our brain. So we have lost the ability of questioning, right? We really have lost the ability of questioning. For example, if you look at this screen, right? What is it? Bigg Boss, right? How many of us are watching Bigg Boss? Is it real show? I mean, there, if you look at it, un log humko ullu bana rahe. So there is nothing real in Bigg Boss. Do you think that a person? I mean, I have seen a couple of episodes of Bigg Boss, maybe few years back. It is completely nonsense. It is complete. For example, how many people know that there is fixing happens in cricket matches? Do we know that there happens a lot of fixing in cricket matches? In fact, there are many matches which were already decided. Even World Cups were decided who are gonna win the World Cup. Do we know that? But still we watch, and still even today I remember that is 1999 World Cup match. Me and my uncle, my father's younger brother, we both were sitting and watching India Sri Lanka. I think it is semi-finals, right? In 1999 World Cup, who lost? Against whom India lost? It's Sri Lanka, right? And which match it was? Was it semi-finals or quarter-finals? Anyone remember?
Semis in 96, I think so.
No, I'm talking about the match where Kambli was taken out of that.
96 World Cup.
96. Okay, yeah, great. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, 96 World Cup, if you look at it, that match, me and my uncle, we cried like anything. And 96 match, after that match, I decided that I'll never watch cricket. And I did not watch cricket after that again. Can you believe it? Because that match was fixed. Do we know that? That match was completely fixed. It was pre-decided that who is going to win the match. And India lost with Sri Lanka like anything. I think it's around 100. It's not even 100. That score was not even 100. And Kambli was crying in the ground like anything.
Actually, it was banned later because our people, they have started to
Prabhuji, is it Divyaras?
throw ball.
Who is
No, it's
speaking?
Ramnath.
Ramnath Prabhuji, Haribol. Thank you. Prabhuji,
Haribol.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, you are keeping us so inspired with your morning associations because, you know, I mean,
consistency is not there, sir.
No, Prabhuji. I mean, it is not needed. Consistency is not needed, but at the same time, you know, you're doing so well. You know, your presence is literally, you know, Sucharita Devi Dasi was talking to me. You know, it's like you're. I don't know why you're.
There, but
I don't know why you're not saying consistency is not there. But
not there. I have to maintain it, sir.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Pleasure, sir.
So that match, it was fixed, right? So like that, people in Hindi it is called, right? In Hyderabad Hindi it called, you know, my daughter sometimes says, "Ullu banaya bade maja aya," right? Like that, they're making us ullus. They fix everything and then they do something and then, you know, like that, right? Now, even if you look at the ads, right? 2 minutes noodles, right? You eat in 2 minutes, die in 2 years. Right? How many people know that, you know, Pepsi can be directly used as a toilet cleaner? Do we know that it can directly be used as toilet cleaner and, you know, it cleans the toilet better than Harpic? Do we know that? If you continuously drink Pepsi for 2 years, you will go and get hospitalized. Right? I'm not saying that don't drink Pepsi or for that matter any cold drink, but what I'm saying is be conscious about what it is being made up of. We were discussing about 3 kinds of kitchens, right? Krishna kitchen, human kitchen, and devil kitchen. Anything that is directly bought from outside and then is been eaten is directly, you know, it is made for devils, not for human beings. Right? So the problem is we need to be conscious about what we are eating. You know, nowadays the cancer percentage of cancers is growing. Why? Because we don't know what we are eating. The refined food and all these things are definitely going to kill our intestine, right? And the moment the intestine gets damaged, it is very difficult to recover it, because that is, the intestine is something that actually absorbs most of the elements, and that itself is damaged. Then where does things gets absorbed? So recently I have heard from one of my friend's daughter. She's following intermittent fasting. Why we are following intermittent fasting? Because that was told by Westerns. It was proven in Western that, you know, if you do intermittent fasting, you will be fit and fine and energetic. Is that true? We have been talking about Ekadasi since ages. And the most unfortunate thing that one more unfortunate thing that she shared with me about the intermittent fasting is, the most unfortunate thing about the intermittent fasting is, once you start doing intermittent fasting, you cannot eat in your life again back. It takes time for you to go back to your previous appetite. So intermittent fasting, it may be good at that moment of time, but it is not good forever. So the problem is, you know, there is a manual which we can just follow to build good health, right? Now we'll understand why we are talking about health and consciousness and all these things, right? We'll try to understand that better in next slides. But the problem here that I'm trying to address is, do not go by the media, what they project. You know, do we know that, you know, we have got this Oreo biscuit, right? Which when we break it, it kind of shows nice creamy milky thing inside. But if you go back and, I mean, I have seen a video how it is made. It is Fevicol. Do you know that the 2 biscuits were joined with a Fevicol in between, and then when the Fevicol is not fresh, in the sense it is not yet dried up, it is still in liquid state, then it is broken and the video is taken. If they really put that cream will not look so well in the video, right? So what we are shown on the video and what we are eating are completely different, Prabhus and Matajis. Even for that matter, do we know that the chocolates that are made up of cocoa, do we know how cocoa is made? 40 grams of, every 40 grams of cocoa will have one cockroach in it, because the cocoa attracts cockroach a lot, and it is very, very difficult to stop cockroach from entering into that. So when you eat cocoa chocolates, please remember that, cockroach is part of it, and there is no question about it. I have a document that I can send to everyone if you want proof, right? So this is how things are made. So if we eat such kind of things, obviously the health is going to go down, right? So is media blinding us, or are we choosing to be blind? This is the question, right? Yeah. Now, can we discuss about death? Can we discuss about death? Should we discuss, Prabhuji? Sure about it?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. Is topic of death so negative? We all know it. We don't like it. We have to face it. Then what is wrong in talking about it? Students, okay, there is one thing, when we have examinations, we prepare some kind of plan, right? So for example, if it is some kind of entrance test, or it is something kind of annual examinations, maybe a month or two before, we start preparing some kind of charts, right? These 7 days I'll study maths, this 7 days I'll study social studies, this 7 days I study languages, and then in the last 2 weeks I'll mix and match and prepare question papers like that. That's how we try to prepare, right? We always try to prepare, make a plan for preparation, right? Like that, we always have some plan, even to just pass, mid-sem examinations or unit tests, quarterly, half yearly, and final exams. Then why are we not preparing the final exam? What is the final exam? Death. Death is the final exam, Prabhuji and Mataji. So life is a preparation, and death is the final examinations for which we should be preparing. So which means we should be discussing about death, right? We should be discussing about death. Is the goal of life death or life? What is the goal of life? Is it death or life? The goal of life is not life, death.
I have a question.
Yes, Prabhu.
That question is not in this session.
Yeah.
See, Krishna has given us Hare Krishna mantra.
Yeah.
Then yesterday I seen Mahabharatam then Mahabharatam or something.
Yeah.
Then he one was going to the one was saying one mantra. The Krishna gave it to the Yudhishthira. Then he said the mantra.
Yeah.
He walked. Then hundreds kilometers he gone. He saying the mantra in 1 minute.
Yeah, this is what we were discussing, Saurya Prabhu. So media is whatever media shows to us, it is something different. So we need to always go to the original source, right? The original source is scriptures. So we should not be carried over by these kind of movies or videos that are made, who do not at all have any idea about what are scriptures. That is the problem. We are carried over by these things. I'm not saying that it is true or false, but at the same time, we should not be carried over by these kind of things. Yeah, we will discuss about them a little bit later. But my point here is, we need to focus on scriptures, which comes through the parampara, but definitely not by the media, right? In media, everything is shown in a different facet, right? So we have seen a session before the last session, right? Okay, we'll come back to that. Yeah.
My question is still not over.
Yes, sorry, Prabhu, I'll answer that question. Sure, yeah.
Krishna, why that mantra given to us, and Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful than it. Then that simple, that one, why not given to us?
Yeah, that simple mantra is not to reach God. That is to reach somewhere else. So if our destiny, if we are determined to go back to Godhead, we have to go with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That simple other mantra which was given to him is, you're saying, right? That simple other mantra which doesn't take back to Godhead.
We can go to Svargaloka with that.
Yeah, but our goal is not that, Saurya Prabhu. Our goal is not to go to Svargaloka. Why we don't want to go to Svargaloka? Because once we go to Svargaloka, the lifetime is very huge in Svargaloka. So once we go there, we will live there for 10,000 years. And after that Svargaloka, again we have to come to Bhuloka. The moment we come back to Bhuloka, by the time the Ghora Kali Yuga will start. When the Ghora Kali Yuga starts, you will not even have food to eat here. Only meat will be available, right? things living entities kill other living entities. So this is what will happen, right? So it is not recommended to yeah, maybe Sucharita can answer better. Haribol, Sucharita, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead, please answer that question.
Shaurya's question.
Yeah.
So Shaurya, when you were a small child, you have learned numbers. Now you are growing. Someday you must have learned addition, subtraction, and someday you will learn even integration, differentiation. So as you grow up, you will be learning more and more things. So like that, at different times, there are different mantras and different things that have to be done. Prabhuji said no in one session, there are different yugas. In different yugas, there are different things that people have to do. In at the time Yudhishthir Maharaj was on earth, it was just before Kali Yuga, and it was a very righteous time when Lord Krishna was also present on earth. So at that time, whatever mantra is given, it is specific to that yuga and also specific to the mode of nature and the kind of person Yudhishthir Maharaj was. But this is Kali Yuga. It is so difficult to concentrate. There is so much of distraction. So in Kali Yuga, the easiest way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years back. He knows he's God himself. So he knows that people will have difficulty in concentrating. They will have difficulty in doing yagnas. They will have difficulty in doing austerity. So all these things God knows. He knows what all problems will have. See, parents know when you have ice cream, they will say, don't have too much of ice cream, you will get cold. Parents know. God is our father ultimately. So he knows. We cannot do the mantra that Yudhishthir Maharaj did because he is at in a different yuga and he's very he's a pure devotee. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came and he gave the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is in this yuga, this is the mantra that we can do and we can reach God. Shari Prabhu, does it help you? Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Krishna gave to the Yudhishthir that they can give to the who beggars now. They can catch.
Yeah, I mean, Krishna has been giving, Prabhu. I mean, he is giving to everyone, not beggars. I mean, he comes. I mean, when it is needed, he comes in everyone's life. For example, when these festivals happen in Abid's temple, we always ask everyone to chant, right? But to chant or not, it is the choice of individual soul. Even we give prasadam to beggars also. As you are saying, Krishna could have given that mantra to beggars. Yes, he could have given, but whether to take it or not is their choice. The guna, the three modes, right? Tamo, Rajo, and Sattva, that governs us a lot, right? If we are really in Tamoguna, it is very difficult to be convinced towards the Sattva, towards taking this Mahamantra or Prasadam, right? That is the problem. So even when the Prasadam is served, it transforms two people's life. One is the person who is serving it, and the other one who receives it. Even the Prasadam, see, there is a say, right? If you take Jagannath Prasad, your next life is 100% sure that you will get a human life. But is it the same for everyone? Can I say that it is same for everyone? If I take Jagannath Puri's Prasadam, can I assure that I'll get human life in my next birth? Yes, provided I am convinced on that. Now, when the person who is serving the Prasadam, he is convinced that you will get human life in your next birth. With the same conviction, I also have to receive it. Then I'll definitely get human birth. But when we are really in Tamoguna, we don't look at Prasadam as Prasadam. We look at Prasadam as any eragera ordinary food. And in that case, the human life is not assured. So the same example, I mean, there is another example that I can give. For example, it is said that when you go and take bath in Ganges, Ganges, we said that last session, we said that Ganges is not the river from earth, right? It is from heaven. Now, when you take birth in Ganges, right, all your sins are dissolved. So is it true? Yes, it is true if you believe in it. And now it will become true only when you go dip in Ganges, thinking that all your sins are dissolved. Yes, they will be dissolved, but after coming out from there, you can from there again you cannot make any sins, right? That is not a, that is not a license that is given. So when we take prasadam or when we take holy dip, all these things will be governed by what kind of consciousness and faith that we are doing with which, right? So that is what it is. That is why it is very important to build proper consciousness. There is a say, right? Vrindavan cannot be seen with eyes. It has to be seen with ears, right? If you directly book a ticket and go to Vrindavan, you cannot really. I mean, it happen. You can try it. I mean, if you go there, for example, I went to Varanasi. When I looked at that Shivaling, going to Varanasi, I was like, okay, is this what people crave for? But after that, when I went to Chitrakoot from there, we were prepared by sannyasis or sadhus. They prepared us. What is this dham? What is the importance of this dham? How do we see this dham? How to actually how to actually do perform things there? Not like going and then doing a namaskar and going, not like that. With what kind of consciousness we should do? When we listen to the lectures, that consciousness is set, then we can really see the beauty of the dhams, right? So the consciousness is pretty important. So even if you say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, there are different japas, right? Some people do phone japa, some people do computer japa, some people do chit chat japa, some people do even driving japa. When they're driving, they do japa. Yeah, but when you're doing it, do you have that consciousness? Are you believing in that the name is not different than from Krishna? So we are doing these Purushottama's prayers, right, in the morning. I should be really, I'm humbled with that prayers, because unfortunately, because of some health issues, I'm not able to get up in the morning. But when I see the message in the group about Purushottama's prayers, I mean, really, really inspired. I mean, the kind of consciousness that we are doing with, it is very, very important, because the name, the chanting of the holy names is not different than Krishna, right? If you're saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, it is not different than Krishna. Wherever Ram Nam is pronounced, Hanuman comes there and dances. But when you have to have such kind of faith in it, right? That faith and conviction and consciousness is very important when we are doing any kind of things in spiritual life, right? Yeah. Now about death, right? Now, what is the goal? Is it the life or the death? What is the goal? What should be our goal? Our goal should be not life. Our goal should be the final exam. Why do we prepare the entire year? We read so many books and so many different textbooks, reference books, and then we look at so many videos in YouTube to solve problems. All this preparation is for one final exam, right? Like that, our entire life should be the preparation for death. You might think that, I will prepare well just before death. No, not possible. Even a simple examination for which we have to prepare, at least the year-end examination, we have to prepare at least 1 month. But this death is, one more thing, Prabhuji and Mataji, we are not preparing for this death in this life. We have been preparing for lives and lives and lives. Every life, we will be given an opportunity to be prepared for death, where this time death at least can break the cycle of birth and death. We have been preparing for this breakage of the cycle of birth and death for many, many years. But we are kind of, it is so difficult exam that we could not pass. That way, still we are sitting in the satsang and listening to it, right? So our goal, ultimate goal should be to prepare for the death, right? Yeah. Now, Radhana Swami Maharaj, one of the initiating spiritual masters, say people fear death because they don't understand life, right? If we understand life properly, we don't have to worry about death. Now, why should we talk about death, right? How material world does not allow us to think clearly. Hospital insurance, more on mind. Say, for example, I mean, recently again, I have got to hear about one of my friend who has got COVID, right? So when he was at home, he was literally, torturing his wife like anything. Every 1 hour, check the oximeter, pulse oximeter, check the pulse oximeter. It has gone down 93, 92, 91. And, steaming whole night and doing all these things for, he almost like 10 days he tortured entire family, his children, his wife and everyone. And then finally they thought, okay, it is better to go to the hospital and get admitted, right? So finally this guy was taken to hospital and he made to stay in the hospital. He stayed there for 5 years, no single call to home. Why? He's living happily there. And then after 5 days, he came back happily to home. Why? Because he just had got that thing in mind that the doctors can save. That is the only belief that he had, right? And at times, many people, after the insurance, right, their life is, do we know that insurance is the biggest, money-making business, which has been feeding on the fear of death, right? That there is one of the biggest markets. You know why there are so many new insurance companies are coming into market? Because they make lots and lots of money just based on the fear. Because we were not taught, we were always told that, you know, death is the most scariest thing, so don't get sick. If you get sick, you will have to spend some 10 lakhs. I mean, if see, I can tell you one story of my that happened in my own family itself. My daughter was 3 years old. I think that's when she has got one wound on the head. Sucharita, is it 3 years or is she little further young? Around 3 years, right? She was very small. My daughter Prasastha, she was very small. So she was playing with Sucharita in the house. So they were 1.5 years. Okay, one and a half. Yeah, she's very small. And Sucharita and my daughter Prasastha, they were playing in the bedroom. So what happened was they were playing hide and seek, and Sucharita was trying to catch Prasastha, and she was running, and she fall down near the wall. When she fall down near the wall, it was marble stoned house, right? So what happened was there was a skirting, and the skirting hit Prasastha at this point on the head. I mean, very at the top, almost close to the hair, right? And she was literally bleeding like anything. I got scared, and Sucharita could not even speak out at that time, right? She was a very small kid. Prasastha was very small kid, so we were very worried. So what happened was, you know, we took her running to Apollo Hospital, and we went to Apollo Hospital, and that boy, the intern, MBBS intern, he's not ready to take. I don't know if he's an intern or he's a proper doctor. He was not ready to take Prasastha. He said, you know, pay 25,000. The doctor will come tomorrow. He will do the operation, and he will set it. You know, for one simple, very, you know, maybe it could be half inch in size. He said, pay 25,000. Bring her tomorrow morning. We will reserve a thing for you, and then the operation will be done, and she'll be fine. Is what he said. He's not even ready to, you know, clean the wound. So look at the pathetic situation. This is how the hospitals are run nowadays. I was like bewildered. I don't know what to do. Then as a plan B, what we did is, again, we took her into the car, and then nearby there is another hospital called Rainbow. We went to Rainbow Hospital, and when we went to Rainbow Hospital, there is one doctor, a lady, very simple looking, okay. And she said, what happened? I showed my daughter. She said, hold on. She took my daughter. She took her into a small room. She cleaned her very nicely. She did not believe me. She did not let us speak one single word. The only thing she asked is, what happened? I showed her my daughter. She took my daughter into the room and then cleaned it nicely, and put some plaster, some small first aid is what she did, and brought back and gave me Prasastha. Prasastha is doing good then. And she said, okay, there is nothing to worry. You bring her tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. There is a doctor called Harish. He will come, and it's a very minor thing. He will put one small gum, and it will be stick. It is, even stitches are not needed. It's very little gum that is put, and everything will be okay. No need to worry. And that's it. She didn't even ask for money. I don't know how Rainbow works, but this is what has happened with Rainbow. I mean, I'm not saying Rainbow is a good hospital, Apollo is a bad hospital. Every hospital has become like that now. But I'm talking about the way that, you know, the lady doctor responded, right? Then we took Prasastha home, not even a single pill, no medicine, nothing. The next day morning, we brought her to the hospital, and nicely, you know, the doctor said, pay 10,000. We paid 10,000. You know, 10,000 is something that I felt, you know, I felt like Rainbow is doing me a good favor, because Apollo has asked me 25,000. So we paid 10,000. Now Dr. Harris came, and then he took, what he did is, he just put one injection to my daughter. Then she went into sleep. Very little dose. Okay, she went into sleep. Doctor took her from my hand to his hand. He took inside. Within 10 minutes, he gave Prasastha back to us. And after half an hour, she's awake and everything is fine. And within 1 month, there is not even that scare is not there. You hardly see that scare. So look at how the medical business is running, right? People make money on the fear of death. And we are so scared of death because we don't know what is there waiting outside on that side of the death. So Prabhu, there is nothing to worry about. First of all, the fear itself kills many people. I have been hearing, you know, many people were dying out of fear. They were not eating food. They were dying out of fear of COVID, and then they are dying, right? So yeah, we were talking about these examples, right? People make money on this. All religious scriptures talk about death. What is so special about it, right? Now, in ECG lines, ups and down means life. It's flat means, does death really mean being calm is good? So everyone says that, right? You know, this guy, okay, when ECG stops, it means death. Death means it's calm. It doesn't mean that death is calm, right? Because we were talking about it. I mean, I don't know if any one of you have got a scorpion bite, but if you get a scorpion bite, the pain kills, not the venom, right? Now, 47,000 scorpions bite in one single point is how you feel about death, right? Why it is so painful? It is so painful because not because of the organs, it is because of the attachments that we have. You know, the entire body with which we have been living for like, you know, 60, 70, 80 or whatever years suddenly feels like it is not yours, right? That is when the real pain comes out. Maybe that pain could be felt in a minute, or could be 10 minutes, or could be 100 minutes. You know, some people say, you know, one bomb blasted and the person died without even knowing what is the pain. No, Prabhuji, that pain is not something that is suffered by the body, it is suffered by the soul. We heard in last session, right? Soul is indestructible. The weather cannot, the wind cannot dry it, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, right? So the soul is something that is indestructible, right? And the soul feels that pain, not the body. The 47,000 scorpion bites of pain is felt by the soul, not by the body, right? Let's discuss some details on experience of death, and then we will come back to real message. Okay, yeah. Now, death cannot be initiated by the soul. It is initiated by Paramatma, right? Some people say, you know, death came, he got cancer, and cancer came, he died. No, in what we say in Telugu is, cancer వచ్చి చచ్చిపోయాడు, లేదా హార్ట్ అటాక్ వచ్చి చచ్చిపోయాడు, లేదా ఇంకేదో వచ్చి చచ్చిపోయాడు. No, it is not because the disease came and death came. Death came, that's where disease has come. So it is like that. So the death is decided by Paramatma, super soul, who initiates it. Do we know that, you know, when the death comes, death is not in an ordinary shape. You know, for devotees, it is, devotees look at, for devotees, death is a pleasure. But for people who are in the mode of ignorance, death comes like anything, you know, because of the fear of death, each organ shuts down. First, if death goes to liver, liver shuts down. If death goes to stomach, stomach shuts down. If it goes to heart, heart shuts down. If it goes to brain, brain shuts down. Such a kind of ferocious face death will have, right? So death comes, that's where disease comes. It is expiry of karma that starts everything, and Paramatma guides it forwards, right? Paramatma decides who will escort us depending on what kind of life we lead. This is what is the most important thing in this session. So whatever kind of life that we lead, depending on that life, the next destination is decided. In fact, this is just a line here, but we are going to discuss on this going forward in a few slides in detail, right? In Bhagavad Gita 2:13, Krishna says, right, dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jatara tata dehantara prapti dhirah tatrana mushyati. What does it mean? As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth and to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death, right? A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Why a sober person is not bewildered by such a change? Because he knows what happens to the soul. He is not dead, right? The soul is already existing, ever existing. It exists, it existed, and it will exist. What does soul experience at the time of death? This is what something that we just discussed, right? So when there happens death, suffering due to three reasons, right? Losing everything that it has worked all along. So for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, we have been living with this body. Suddenly it feels like it is not yours. When the soul comes out of the body, it can no more enter into the body because the organs were shut down, right? The moment the organs were shut down, the soul cannot enter into it. Body being broken apart, right, does not know where it is going to go. Now the soul will wander. Once it comes out of the body, it can neither enter into the body nor it knows where to go. So it is so much of bewilderment, right? And in fact, when if you look at the sannyasis, after they leaving their body, the body is not burnt. And in Hindu Sampradaya, the body is burnt. Do you know why? In many sampradayas, for that matter, we have seen another religion, right, where the vultures were eating the body. After death, the body is thrown to be eaten by vultures. Why? Because the soul cannot leave the body so easily, right? After death, what happens is, first of all, the soul doesn't want to come out of the body because it has been feeling the body as it's my body, my family, and all. Now, when the soul has to come out, if the karma is good, that's okay. If the karma is bad, it will be pulled out by the Yamadutas. When it is pulled, it is not ready to come, right? Because it has got so much of attachment to the body. And the moment the soul leaves the body is taken to the parking lot. It is not even left in the house. I mean, you people know, right? I mean, when someone leaves the body is taken out of the house. It is not kept in the house. It has to be taken out of the house because they feel it as inauspicious. So look at it. What is absent there? The moment the soul goes out of the body is not worthy even to keep in the house, right? It is taken out of the house. If you look at it. Now, when it is taken, in Hindu Sampradaya, the body is burnt. And in Zoroastrian Sampradaya, the body is eaten by vultures. All these things are planned and done because to make the soul leave the attachment on the body. Once the body is burnt, it will not have attachment, right? It will think, okay, it is done, I have to go, and it goes out. But if you look at bodies of sannyasis, it is not burnt, it is buried. Why? Because they identify it as not this body. Okay, at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can play around with the body, right? It is, when we say we are not this body, we are soul, it doesn't mean that we should not take care of the body. Body is a temple of God. Do we know that? That's why we put so many tilaks. We put one, we say Kesavaya Swaha, Narayana Swaha, all these mantras, we Govindanam we say, and then put tilak at the, different parts of the body, because body is considered as a temple of the God, and every part of the body will have a tilak. This, Krishna feet, and then this Tulsi, it will have it, because we have to treat the body as a temple of the God, because this body is something that helps us build better consciousness, right? So body is so important, because it is, first of all, it is given by God, and secondly, this is something yanakamu antam kada. This is the mission, or this is the chariot for us to reach God. So it helps us do more and more better practice. That's why you should never ever crucify your body, right? You need to train it well to become better. You might say that, Prabhuji, I'm doing yoga when and the body goes little pain. Yes, you have to do that, because for the body to become better and flexible, so that you can perform your devotional service well, right? So what it means is, please take care of the body very well. If it has got some health issue, please make it well. Give some medicine, practice some kind of food habits. That is why I was stressing so much on eating in Krishna kitchen. Prepare food nicely with nice vegetables, clean properly, prepare nice food, offer it to the Supreme Lord, and then have it to build better consciousness and keep the body healthy, right? So body is a temple of God. That's why we have to take care of the body so well, so that, if for that matter, if you are kind of trying to crucify your body in this life, it is very difficult to get a body in our next life. Do we know that? And we will not be given body for some time if we are trying to crucify our body. Yes, of course, if you're ready and you know that you have achieved Krishna Prema, you're ready to, leave the body, then that is different thing. But we are still sadhakas. We haven't gone to a state where we know only Krishna and we don't know anything else. We haven't reached that state yet, right? So we have to take care of body pretty well. If you are not taking care of the body in this life, it is damn sure that you will not get a body for some time to understand the value of the body. And when these ghosts, when they don't have body, that's when they get to understand how difficult it is to live without a body. They can't even speak. They can't even express pain, right? This is this kind of pathetic situation that you'll have if you don't have a body, right? So it is very important to take care of the body, Prabhus and Matas, right? Now, soul limits with regret of everything it has done throughout the life. Now, when we are talking about the body, we are, using it like anything. 24/7 we work in the night and sleep in the morning, and we order food from Zomato, Tomato, and Swiggy, Buggy and eat it. And what kind of crucifixion that we are doing to the body? When the soul is too attached, the Yamadutas actually pull it out of the body, right? So if what is the best way to actually maintain a good maintain body in a good state? Get up when sun asks you to get up, and sleep when sun asks you to sleep. And in between getting up and then sleeping, please eat good food. When I say good food, with all kinds of proteins, vitamins, and minerals, and offer it to Lord, and then eat it. So this way, when you offer it, it gets purified. It will purify your consciousness. Now, when you eat good food, it actually gives good strength to your body. And we want to get good strength because we want to perform better devotional service, right? Now, when the soul is too attached, the Yamadatas actually pull it out of the body. Extremely traumatic experience. Now, here in this one, Arjuna is saying to Krishna, Krishna, Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam Adeva me Vishatu Manasa Raja Hamsaha Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pitta Kantavarodana without Smaranam Kutaste. Okay. Actually, this one was not from Bhagavad Gita. This is from how many knows Kulasekar Alvar? So Kulasekar Alvar was saying, because he know what happens at death. He's clearly explaining. If you look at it, he's clearly saying that this is from Kulasekar Alvar's text. He says, "Oh Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus flower-like feet, just as the flamingo enters into the labyrinth of the lotus flower stem. When at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes," please pay attention here. When at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by the action of the bodily humors, air, bile, and phlegm, how will I be able to remember you? So see what he's saying. He understood the pain of death. Now at the time of death, everything shuts down, and the controls, the motor controls goes off in the body, right? Now if you look at it, food is, even if you lie down on the bed, the food doesn't come out of the mouth. Though you keep the head down and legs up, the food doesn't come out because the motor controls are working well. What if the motor control shuts down? You know, if you're lying down means water will come to your throat. If you're standing up means water and food will go down. If you are kind of toppled, head down, legs up, then the food will come out of the mouth, and even the bile will come out of the mouth. So the control of motors is very important. But after that, what happens? During death, everything shuts down. You know, water and air flows through every single nostril and everything is chalked. Do you think that it is easy to remember Krishna at the time of death? No. That's why Kulasekar Alvar is praying Krishna. Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus feet. How it has to be yielded to the lotus feet of Krishna? Like the butterfly, flamingo goes to the flower. That is, it has got, the flamingo has lot of attraction towards the honey that is there in the flower. Like that, he is requesting Krishna to make his mind attracted to the lotus flower-like feet of Krishna, right? Yeah. Now, how one should understand untimely death? Is death untimely? There happened this shoot right in Hotel Taj in Mumbai, and there are so many deaths that had happened. Is it untimely? No, it is not untimely. We will understand why it is untimely. That is planned by Krishna. For example, this guy whom you see on the right top corner, right? This guy had 7 plane crashes and he survived. Once I was traveling from Chicago to Denver, right? So that was a little stormy weathered wind, and that was the first flight which gave me a feel of how a plane crash feels like. I mean, my flight did not crash though, but it was like I was traveling from Chicago to Denver, Colorado, and again it is like Indigo flight only. There are 3 seats, and I'm sitting at the SL, and beside me there is one lady, maybe she's around 50 years, was sitting. So when it took off, it took off well from Chicago. But when we were landing in Denver airport, I can't explain you. I thought, okay, Hare Krishna that day, right? So it was like after the flight landed, me and that lady, we were looking at each other's face, and we were like, no, we are not gonna board flight again in our life. I thought it is only happening with me. But when I looked at that lady who was, a Western, usually there they take a lot of flights than road transport. They usually recommend flight transport because it's less in time, and then even it's affordable there, right? So I thought it was like a different thing for me. But even that lady, no, we cannot take flight again. It was something like that, right? So that flight did not crash. Now imagine this guy's flight crashed 7 times and still he is alive, right? And this person, there happened an earthquake, and this person survived during after earthquake for 30 days. See the place that he is in. He is in a small slit, right? He is fitting into the slit, and he survived there for 30 days with whatever available here and there beside him. He was eating that, and he survived for 30 days, and then he was pulled out, right? And this guy, if you look at him, he has got one, what do you call, in a blast, one rod literally went into his head, but still he was not dead. He lived for some time, right? So death is not untimely. So if you are supposed to live, you will live. If Mare Krishna, Rake Krishna Mare ko, Mare Krishna Rake ko. If Krishna wants to kill, no one can stop. If Krishna wants to save, no one can kill. Rake Krishna Mare ko, if Krishna wants to save, no one can kill. Mare Krishna Rake ko, if Krishna wants to kill, who can save? Right? Now, is death untimely? We will try to understand what is an untimely death. World point of view, death before old age is untimely. So if someone is dying before becoming old, it is called untimely. No, it is not. The karma is completed, that's why he is dying. Now, scriptural point of view, everything is as per sanction of God. There is nothing as untimely death. Now we might get a question, Prabhuji, is tsunami Krishna's wish? No, it is not Krishna's wish. It has to come because we wanted it to happen. Now, it is Krishna's duty to sanction it, right? I might say, father, I want to marry this girl. My father comes and tells, Baba, don't marry that girl because that girl is very arrogant. That girl doesn't take care of parents. I know her because, I have been seeing her from her childhood. But this guy gets attracted, says, no, I want to marry only that girl. Otherwise, I will die. What will the father do? Chal, jao, mar jao. If you don't marry that girl, you will die once. If you marry that girl, you will die forever. Okay, sorry for that example. Maybe I can take it the other way also. So a girl might say, I will marry only this boy. And the boy may be bad, right? So yeah, it can happen vice versa, right? So as a father, out of affection, he has to sanction. That is the problem. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Upadrishta Anumanta, I am the sanctioner, is what Krishna says, right? Now, it does not mean Lord Krishna necessarily likes what he's doing, right? Now, Duryodhana's example, we'll negotiate. Do we know that Krishna didn't want the war? Do we know? Before the war, so many times Krishna tries to Sandhi Kudarcha antar kada. So Krishna tries to compromise between both the parties, Kauravas and Pandavas. So many times Krishna tries, but the war becomes inevitable because Duryodhana didn't want it. So what happened at the end? Krishna sanctioned the war and Duryodhana had to suffer, right? Krishna sanctions it. He always tries to maintain things with peace, but if it doesn't work, he had to sanction it because he's Supreme Father. Now, based on karma, no births are decided, and so is our duration of life also. Okay, if it's free will, we will try to understand better about free will, destiny versus free will in one of the sessions. Now, is suicide untimely? Is suicide untimely? Yes, suicide is untimely because your karma is not completed. Actually, this body is given to us to actually suffer the karma of bad karma or good karma, whatever, right? Then once the karma is completed, if we are in Suddha Sattva, we go back home, back to Godhead, breaking the cycle of birth and death. Now, why the body is given? The body is given to suffer good or bad karma. Now, Krishna has made with so much difficulty that body for us to suffer good or bad karma. Now, if we are terminating that body in between, what will happen? You will have to suffer without a body for so much of time. This is what will happen. If a person is directly responsible for instant death, then it is untimely. If we are directly responsible for any death, it is untimely. That's why suicide is, and we'll understand what will happen with suicide also, right? Now, Srila Prabhupada also has explained on an accident of death of the devotee, right? If there are any scientific evidences of rebirth. Now, I don't want to take time on this because we've already discussed this, right? So, if you go and Google about Dr. Ian Stevenson, University of Virginia, there are 3,000 cases. This we already discussed, right? And even we discussed about this lady who found out her, previous life's husband, and she's living with him now, right? And this guy Deep Kapadia, who was a security guard in one of the king's palace, we discussed about this in the previous session, right? So when he was 3 years old, he was taken to Udaipur saying that it is Delhi, but he said no, this is Udaipur, and he went to a castle and then broke the castle door, went inside, brought the kerosene fan, put kerosene and started the fan, and he know how to run that fan, right? Yeah, all these things we discussed in previous session, right? Now, even near-death experience, this near-death experience also we discussed in our past session, right? So, it is clinically dead. We said that, if you don't find any temperature underneath your tongue, there is a chill underneath the tongue, it means that it is clinically dead. So this couple, they got a baby who was clinically dead, but after 30 minutes he came to life. And this guy Kerry, he met with an accident and he was declared 25 minutes dead, and he came out again with life, right? And even Ravi Chintala, we discussed about, who is one of the leads in IBM and lives in Banjara Hills, right? He also had a near-death experience, right? And Dr. Lloyd, right? He was shocked listening to the conversation, listening to what his patient had to say after she came into life, right? Okay, let's move forward. Now there are different koshas that we discussed, right? There are 5 koshas: Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Gnanamaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, and Anandamaya kosha, right? What happens to different koshas after death, right? Now koshas are level of consciousness which soul passes through on its journey back home. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya, right? Nationality or nationhood is a level of consciousness. Now in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. We get what we are conscious of. So if you are in Anandamaya kosha, and then if someone is in Anandamaya kosha and leaving the body, the next body that he or she gets would be based on that specific consciousness, right? So we all might get a question, right? In the first slide we said that learn to earn, but we are saying learn not to earn, rather learn to understand about death. Why we have to understand about death? Now if we try to learn to understand about death, it is good, because we are putting foundation for our next life, right? Because if you are not preparing for death, the kind of body that you would get would be not as per what we might want, or rather it would be as per what our thoughts are, which is not actually, which might not be even something that we want. For example, I might think that I'm very fond of Amitabh Bachchan, let's say. So at the time of death, I might get an Amitabh Bachchan's body in my next life, maybe in some other planet, right? Why in some other planet? In fact, I'm talking about another planet where there could be another Earth planet, because there are 3 kinds of Vishnus, right? Mahavishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Who is Mahavishnu? Mahavishnu is the Vishnu from whose inhale and exhales the Brahmandas start, right? He exhales and he exhales and inhales Brahmandas, not one Brahmanda, many Brahmandas, right? Now each Brahmanda will have a Brahma. Now where that Brahma comes? So you have got Mahavishnu, who inhales and exhales Brahmandas, and through his skin pores, for that matter. The Brahmandas come out through his skin pores and goes in through his skin pores, right? Now each Brahmanda will have one Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Now from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, one Brahma comes, and that Brahma creates universes, right? Now every universe within it will have living entities, right? So now Mahavishnu has created so many Brahmandas, and each Brahmanda has got one Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, Lord Brahma comes, and that Brahma creates one universe, right? And in this universe, there will be Earth planet, and on the Earth planet are different planets, and on these planets you have got living entities. Inside every living entity, there is Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, right? So who sits in our heart? It is Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, right? Now we have got understanding of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Kshirodakashayi Vishnu sits in our heart, right? Yeah. Why it is said? Now the real story starts. From here it will be little interesting, and then you can come up with as many questions as you want, right? Why it is said one should not go to a temple if someone passes away in family? Can we go into crematorium with tulsi beads? We all might have got this question, right? In our devotee satsang, we at least get this question. Can we go to crematorium ground with tulsi beads or with chanting tulsi beads? Can we? Province, do you have any answers for this? Can we, or we can't?
Yes.
Okay. Can we go to temple when there happens a death in the family?
No.
Yeah. Any other answers? Yes. Anyone says yes for that? Any yes for going to temple when there happens a crematorium in the family? Sulochana Mataji, why we are not supposed to go to the temple?
What is called is Suta Karma.
Yeah.
Suta Karma.
Yeah, but it is said that so that, but is there any scientific reason behind it?
No.
Yeah. Okay. In fact, when the baby is born, small baby is born, at that time they say, you should not go to their house for 21 days. If you go there, you have to take bath and all. Is that there in every culture? Are we aware?
Of course. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Anand Prabhu is saying the prana of the lost person is not fully gone. Yeah, the prana of the lost person is not fully gone. Yeah, true, Prabhu. But why? I mean, when I can go to, can we go to movie theater after, someone's death in the family?
Yes, there is no undoubtedly.
Can we order food from Swiggy or Zomato?
Yes.
Then why can't we go to temple?
Devotional path, it is special.
Yeah.
పవిత్రమైన ప్లేస్ కాబట్టి మనం అక్కడ కర్మ ఉన్నప్పుడు సూత కర్మ ఉన్నప్పుడు పోకూడదు అని.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, people say that, but we will try to understand why we can or why we can't or why we should or why we should not. So when we can do all other things, we devote now. Okay, Anand Prabhu, you can unmute and speak. I believe they say it affects the temple deity energy. Haribol that were installed there. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Anand Prabhu. Yeah, we'll try to. We will explain it more now. When there happens a birth in a family, that thing will be there for 9 days or 11 days or something, or 21 days in some families or some cultures. They say you should not go into the house, or even if you're going there, when you come out, you should take bath and things like that, is what they say. But technically, if you look at it, it is not good for the baby. It is not good for us. It is not good for the baby, because we roam outside. Now, if you look at it, what kind of environment he was inside? He was in a very different kind of environment. Now he has come out of that environment after birth and sitting in the in this kind of weather and all these things, right? So what happens is, if we are going to the baby, roaming all the way outside, there are different germs and all these things will be sticking to our body. If we go and touch the baby, it is not good for the baby. That is why they say you are not supposed to touch the baby for 9 days or 21 days or something like that. It is not that, if we touch the baby, you should not come out and take bath. Rather, before going there, you should take bath and go, is what is recommended. Like that, even during the crematorium, right? When crematorium is a contaminated place, that is why one should not go to a temple after that, is what they say. But technically, if you look at it, what usually happens is, when there happens any loss in a family, okay, in olden days, there used to be temple in everyone's house. It is not in different places. The temple is not at a separate place. Temple is used to be there in every single house, and everyone in the family used to have a service. The kids used to bring flowers. The husband used to get maybe water from the well, and the mother in the house used to, the mother or the wife used to cook nice prasadam for the lordships, right? Everyone used to get one service. Now, everyone used to serve together the Lord, right? So they used to have some kind of eternal affection among them. Now, in such kind of situation, a person is lost. What will happen? There will be a disturbance. Right? And that disturbance creates a lot of problem in terms of serving the Lord. But the Lord has to be served in full. It cannot be like, today I will serve him prasadam. Tomorrow, I don't have prasadam. Yes, even if you don't have, you can actually at least mentally serve. You need not serve physically. You can actually you need not prepare and serve, but you can mentally prepare and serve, right? Like that, when there happens any loss in the family, it is very difficult for the family to come out. That is the reason why they used to close the temple in the house, and they don't go to serve the Lord, because of the lamentation that they undergo, right? But on the other hand, if you're a devotee, if you're a pure devotee, you know that you are not this body, you're the soul, and whatever loss that happens to the body and that happens to the family, you are kind of out of it. The Supreme Lord has decided to take him away. His karma is completed, so it's taken. So there is no need to lament. A person who is clear about it, who can serve the Lord with unalloyed devotional service, despite of the loss in the family, he can definitely go to the temple and do that. So this is the reason why someone is not recommended to go to the temple. Deity worship is not a small thing. When we do deity worship, our complete focus, entire body, all the senses have to be there on the God. We should smell the smell of the God. We should look at God's lotus feet. We should offer things to the Supreme Lord. right? When the deity worship happens, our entire focus, body, mind, senses, everything are have to be, supposed to be on the god. Now, if you cannot do that, you're not. It is not recommended to do deity worship, right? That is very, very important. That is the reason why we were recommended not to go to temple when there happens a loss in the family and we are mentally disturbed. But nowadays, how many people are disturbed? There are many people. I mean, there are many causalties that I see. Today the loss happens, tomorrow they switch on that Big Boss in the house, right? And when the ad comes, they will cry for some time. When ad goes up, and there are some families even during that ad they change channel and watch. And when someone comes and asks, comes, they kind of give so many reasons, saying that yeah, I mean, I'm not telling different story. It is with my own family. I mean, my maternal grandmother. We lost our maternal grandmother last year, right? When we go to their house to lament, they look at the TV channels and they say, we are in so deep pain. We want to forget. That's why we are watching the TV. Why to watch TV? Do some chanting, or play some kirtans, so that the soul will listen to it and go to a better destination, right? Yeah. So physically, emotionally, they are disturbed, so it is not recommended to go to the temple, right? Now Karma Kanda says no going to temple, but people practicing pure bhakti path can ignore it with Guru's permission. Why Guru's permission? I can't say that I am very elevated, I don't care if there happens even a loss in the family, I can go to temple. No, Guru has to tell me how elevated I am. If Guru says, yeah, you are very much elevated, you can go to the temple, yes, I can go. I cannot decide myself saying that I'm very elevated, I don't really care about the loss in the family, I know that it's our soul, it is not body, and I cannot just go and walk into the temple. Guru should give me a permission to go to the temple, because he is the one who can actually read my consciousness, right? Now Tulsi, one more important thing here, it is Prabhuji, Tulsi always pure. Nothing can contaminate Tulsi, right? No single thing. In fact, Tulsi purifies everything, right? Tulsi is always pure. Yeah, yes, sorry, Prabhu. One sec, let me finish the slide, then I'll take your question. So Tulsi is always pure, and no one can make it impure, even if it is in crematorium ground, right? Such a pure, that's why, why do we wear Tulsi? Tulsi is so pure, Yamadutas cannot touch your body. When that happens, if you have Tulsi, Yamadutas cannot touch your body. They cannot pull your soul out of the body, right? But you might be taken by Vishnu Dutas, but you'll have the punishment is not exempted. You will have that punishment. Whatever bad things that we do, we will have to suffer, and we will have to undergo the punishment. And that punishment, whether it is Vishnu Dutas or Yamadutas, we will undergo that specific punishment. Yeah, sorry, Prabhu, please go ahead.
As you said, you are not the Guru in last scene. Then who? You only said Guru should say to the who I am manipulated or not. Then where should we go to find a Guru? When we go to find a Guru, so many years will be there. You only said.
Yes, Haribol. Yeah, so such a great question. Sorry, Prabhu. I mean, yeah. So how do we find a Guru? Any Prabhuji and Mataji have an answer for this? Now, Sarya's question is, for me to be able to decide whether to go to temple or not, I need a Guru. And unfortunately, I don't have a Guru. Now, where do I find a Guru? How do I find a Guru? How do we find it? Prabhuji and Mataji, any answer? Sucharita, we had a discussion about Guru yesterday, right? Do you want to give a glimpse of it? Haribol?
In olden days, there are some specific gurus. So they went for learn.
Yes, Mataji. Those, olden days they were real gurus, but nowadays, it is very hard to find.
No. So there, now we can search in temples, or some Guru Upadesam is taken by somebody's.
Yeah.
In these days, somebody takes from, they are treated them as a Guru, and they can take Guru Upadesam as Om Namah Shivaya or Hare Krishna, whatever it may be, Sri Matre Namaha, whatever it may be. So they treated, but how much the Guru is acting, treated, and they can take responsibility of their students or whatever they may be, I don't know.
Haribol, yes. Correct, Mataji. We discussed it. So whatever
you said you won't find a Guru for 25 years.
No, you will find, but okay, how it happens is, Anand Prabhu is saying, it is mostly by circumstances and by accident and in search of some truth we meet Guru. Yes, usually Krishna sends. Do you people think that because of your good deeds, bad deeds, you're sitting in this satsang, or because someone helped you? Do you know someone has prayed for you? Someone has prayed for me. That's how I am in this path. And someone is happy with my service, because of which I could be given to serve you people. Someone has literally prayed for you. That's why you're sitting and receiving the information of Guru Parampara here in this session. Like that, Krishna will plan for us when we are ready. But we need to seriously endeavor for a Guru. Without that, it is difficult to get a Guru. And when we are ready, the Paramatma in our heart, he will guide us. That is how we will get a Guru. Right? In fact, Guru chooses Shishya. Have we ever heard of it? The Guru chooses his disciple. We all think that, right? The disciple goes and looks at the Guru. No, the Guru looks at the disciple. And yes,
a Guru is becoming a Guru and treated him as a Guru. They have lot of patience.
Yeah.
And they have to speak and move very smoothly and affectionately. They have to love their family as well as surroundings, neighbors, whatever they may be.
Yes, yes.
But how much they were lead. If somebody is, if I am in sorrow,
yeah.
You are affecting.
Yes.
Ma, how are you? Are you fine? Are you eating? How is your health? Somebody is, etc. Some questions, sir, and you are asking me.
Yes, yes.
But how you are treating in the family, or your wife or children?
Yeah.
At that time, they are becoming very angry.
Correct.
And they are showing their manpower. How we can treat them as Guru?
Exactly. So a Guru is usually someone would be a Guru. Okay. Now, if you ask me, it is very difficult to find a real Guru. Now, how do we find a real Guru? A real Guru is someone who has the quality of connecting you with Krishna. I will give you one example. Recently, there was happening an online session with my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Rampad Swami Maharaj. And what's happening was, during that session, someone asked a question. It was a bewildering question. I mean, he had, I can clearly understand the pain that devotee is undergoing in his question. I mean, after listening to that question, I understood what a kind of pain he is undergoing. With one simple answer, the entire pain was removed. My Guru Maharaj, he gave one simple, very small answer, and the pain was removed. And the devotee, he was so exalted. And then he started praising Guru Maharaj. He said, stop, that's it. He is not ready to listen to the praises that he is doing. So, Prabhus and Matajis, the real Guru will not expect name, fame, beauty, or anything. All that he wants is, he wants to, the moment you get connected to Krishna, he will be more than happy. The moment you connect more people to Krishna, he will be much more happy. Why do you people think that I'm doing this service? Tomorrow I want to show my Guru Maharaj. See, I have got 2 people into Krishna consciousness, and these 2 people are doing chanting 16 rounds. This is what I'm working for. The moment, this is the gift that I can give to my Guru Maharaj. He's not going to ask my name, fame, beauty, money, nothing. They don't ask anything. All that they will ask is, the moment I try to get in touch with my Guru Maharaj, he will ask, the first question he will ask is, how is your sadhana? Right? If after me talking about my sadhana, if I go and tell him that, I have got 2 more people who are trying to serve Krishna and Srimati Radharani, I can't explain how much jubilation he will be in. This is what we are serving for. We are not serving for name, fame, beauty, or something. Prabhus and Matajis. So you can find a real Guru in someone whose whole aim is to connect you with Krishna and Srimati Radharani. He is a real Guru. And there are, Mataji, as you're saying, there are some Gurus who might chastise, who might be angry, but they know at what time they can get angry. Even if they're getting angry, they will get angry only for a reason. Now, when Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, one time he chastised one devotee. He had to chastise because the devotee, he has put some water on the floor and someone was about to slip. Now, Prabhupada came and looked at it and asked, who put water here? And some devotee, some brahmachari came and said, Prabhupada, it is me. He literally chastised him. He chastised, how can you leave this water here? If someone falls, see how much importance Prabhupada gives to the body. He said, if someone falls down and something happens to them, how can they maintain this body? If they're not able to maintain this body, how they can serve Krishna? And he chastised. Yeah, there are such kind of, so when they chastise for a reason. For a reason where it hindrances someone's devotional service towards Krishna. that is when they chastise, right? So this is what it happened. This is how it happens. So real guru would chastise, but he would chastise only when that chastisement leads to better Krishna service of the devotee. And the only one purpose of guru is to connect the disciple with Krishna and Srimati Radharani. That is the only purpose of guru. If someone is coming and telling that give me 100 rupees, I'll do this puja and that puja, you will get a better job. Do this vratam, that vratam, you will get 1 lakh rupees bumper bonus offer. All that is nonsense. Believe me. Even if you are getting that 1 lakh rupees, it is out of your good karma and luck. It is not because of that puja, right? I'll tell you. There is a doctor, and to the doctor every day there goes 100 patients. Out of 120 patients gets cured, and the 180 patients doesn't get cured. The 80 patients who doesn't get cured, they don't talk much about the doctor, because it's just that they did not get cured. Nothing bad had happened. But those 20 people who got cured, they will talk very nicely about the doctor. Yes or no? And these 20 people will spread that message to everyone else, and the doctor becomes great. And unfortunately, if you look at the history of the doctor is not even a doctor. He's an RMP. Right? Like that, nowadays things are going like that. Out of your good karma or luck or something better, you are getting a better offers, and that is been attributed to some gurus or matas. That is the problem. And all these material gains are attributed to some gurus and matas. That is the problem. But all this happen due to your good and bad karmas, not because of their blessings. Right? So what should one be endeavoring for? Our only whole and soul endeavor should be to go back home, back to Godhead. Okay, let's go a little forward. Now, what happens to Saul after death? Now, several indications are given before to death. Okay, and Saul comes out of from 9 gates. We have got 9 holes, right, in the body. It comes out through 9 holes. 3 kinds of sons take birth in the home. One is Ladaka, son who fights with family. Beta, son who is after properties. Putra, son who is after properties, right? We will understand. I mean, Putra is not actually son who is after properties. Yeah, different messages come from different people in different modes, right? Now, the body that can travel, what happens after that? After death, you get a preta body, right? It is called Ativahak Sharir. Ativahak means it can travel faster than your actual body, right? See, first, and when someone dies, the body formed is first day head forms, second day neck and shoulders, third day heart, fourth day back, fifth day waist portion, like that. Everything gets formed. By 10th day everything is ready and Suddhi happens. That lamp and food is offered on the 10th day. So till 10th day, small things are done, and during this 10 days the body is formed. What is this body? This body is the preta body. After death, the soul gets transformed into a preta body. Preta is not a atma, it is a preta body, right? Now, and from 11 to 13 days, Brahmins are honored and fed prasadam. That is called Priti Bhoja. Why do we give that food? After that food only, after eating that food, then only the preta body can actually start walking. Right? Now, what if someone has got a son who was not taken care properly, because of which he did not do that 11-day ceremony? What will happen? Can we imagine what happens to that soul? We don't know, right? If someone is not feeding us in our childhood, can we grow? Like that, if we take care of our children properly and guide them properly in proper discipline, they will definitely do this kind of shraddha and all after our death. That is when we get proper body, preta body, to travel to the 16 planets. We'll understand what are the 16 planets that someone travels through. So once the preta body is ready and is been fed for 11, 12 and 13 days, then Yamadutas take him and journey begins to next body. Now, how much time does it take the body? What is it in the duration? What will happen in the duration? Now we will understand. Now you've got
1 year. 1 year.
348 days. 348 days, Mataji. Yeah. So, 348 days starting from the 13th day, right? So 13 days, the body is prepared, and then you are left with 348 days to travel. Now, if you look at it, how fast the body travels, there are 16 hellish planets to cross and reach Yamalok, right? 1 yojana means 7.5 miles, which is nothing but 12 kilometers. So it travels 86,000 yojans in 348 days. Means 10 lakh kilometers. Can we imagine walking for 10 lakh kilometers in 1 year? How many kilometers a day we can walk at the max? Maybe 100 kilometers, right? So which means at the max we can walk maybe 3600 kilometers is what we can walk in 360 days. But here it is saying that 10 lakh kilometers is what we have to walk, right? So per day, 2964 kilometers is what the Prata body walks, right? Now, what happens with bhaktas? When someone is devotional service, what will happen? They will get a chopper plane. Yeah, proper horse. I mean, Garuda will come. Garuda's plane will come, right? And then
Flowers pallaki, Pula pallaki.
Yeah, and then they will be picked up to Yamaloka. They will be taken to Yamalok for, not for punishment. Now we will understand why they were taken to Yamaloka. Why bhaktas were taken to Yamaloka, we will understand, right? So Garuda's plane will come for bhaktas, right? Now Yamaloka has gone. Okay, now they were taken to Yamaloka, Sayamina, Bhuvarloka, we will understand that. Now journey of 16 hellish planets to cross and reach Yamaloka. So there are 16 planets, right? So what are the 16 planets? You can actually go and Google. I mean, I don't remember the 16 planet names, but you can Google. So there is one loka that I'm just wanted to give you an example of what happens in these lokas. So there is Sayalagama loka. Sayalagama loka, what it means is, it is completely made up of rocks. Okay, there will be, even the rain happens. The rain will be on the rock with the rocks and stones. It's not water rain. It is rocks rain. Right, so even the rain is with rocks, right? Now if you do danas and dharmas in this loka, we get footwear, jackets and umbrella, all those things there, right? And there is one nadi called Vaitarini Nadi. I'm sure that we all must have heard of that nadi, right? Vaitarini Nadi. In between these planets, you've got this Vaitarini river, and that river is completely full of blood and fuss and all the things, right? And you have to swim in that to go to another planet. I mean, to cross another planet. You have no other destination. You have to go to Yamaloka, right? When we have to go to Yamaloka, in between two planets, we have got that Vaitarini river, which is full of blood and fuss. Now, if you do any dana related to cows, the cow will take care of that. The cow will take care of going to another planet during that travel process, right? Then after crossing the 16 lokas, someone goes to Yamaloka, right? Yeah, there are one of the planet in one of the planets you've got 10 suns. The temperature is 50 degrees centigrade, right? So whatever they donated in the life, they gain that help to walk in the heated sun, right? Now one more interesting thing is in fact, during this travel, right, the 348 days travel, we are supposed to offer Pinda Pradana every month. And these Brahmins, they have simplified the process to 1 year, but it is not for 1 year. It is supposed to be done every single month. Otherwise, how they will walk? They have to eat something, right? So if someone grooms their son well with good discipline, son or son-in-law, they will get nice food during this 12 months, right? So this is what has to be practiced. If we don't tell our children that, if we don't do Pinda Pradhan, if our parents are not doing Pinda Pradhan to their parents, how do we learn? And unfortunately, what will happen is, whatever Pinda Pradhan that is been done, out of which 50% goes to Prata body, 25% goes to the soul, and the rest 25% goes to Yamadutas. Now, if the son is not doing Pinda Pradhan, who will feed Yamadutas? Now Yamadutas will get irritated because of your son, we are fasting, they will eat more, right? Even Yamadutas get irritated if the Pinda Pradhan is not happening properly. That is why it is very, very important to do Pinda Pradhan every month, not in a year, right? Now each next planet, the punishment intensity will only increase. Now from Yamya planet to Bahubiti planet, the punishment goes up and up, right? Now in Yamaloka, there will be two gatekeepers, one male gatekeeper and another female gatekeeper, Sravan and Sravani. Sravan to check males, Sravani to check females, right? They know, these Sravan and Sravani, they know what we have heard all our life and what is in our heart. Whatever is there in our heart, they know, because their names themselves are Sravan and Sravani. They can hear. They see everything along with Paramatma. Now, Kasya, secretary of Chitragupta. Kasya, secretary of Chitragupta, he does the analysis of past data and gives results. Now, what does Chitragupta does? Chitragupta scolds the people in mode of ignorance and mode of passion, and he gives seat to mode of people in goodness. See the advantage. Now we understood, right? Why people even in goodness go to Yamaloka. They even people in good mode of goodness go to Yamaloka to receive obeisances offered by Chitragupta. Even Chitragupta pays his obeisances to people in mode of pure goodness. Right? So what happens? Mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness, and mode of pure goodness. Mode of pure goodness means Suddha Sattva, who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Mode of ignorance and mode of passion, people are scolded by Chitragupta, and mode of goodness, people were given a seat to sit there. And whereas people in mode of pure goodness, Suddha Sattva, they were offered obeisances by Chitragupta. Imagine the situation, right? Yeah. Now what happens? What are the different kinds of punishments that were given after death? So those were there in Garuda Purana. You can read it. I'm not going to go into details of what will happen. Now Shraddha, right? Shraddha is very important. Shraddha means donation. We will understand why it is so important.
Prabhuji, I request you.
Yes, Mataji.
From yours, at least we have to read one time in our life. The Garuda Purana is the most important thing. What you have to do and do not. At least minimum we have to maintain our character, donates, whatever it may be. At least from yours, I request.
Mataji, we can
it's
try.
Most important.
Mataji,
yes.
we can try, but we need to worry about it only when we are not in. We are in the mode of either goodness, passion, or ignorance.
Yes.
But when we are in the mode of pure goodness, we don't have to worry about that, Mataji.
Yes, of course.
So, yeah, we can read it. The whole point here is, we know what is the path of bhakti. So Harirnama, Harirnama, Harirnama eva kevalam kalau nastaiva, nastaiva, nastaiva gatiranyata. So even Yamadutas cannot come and touch a devotee, right? Yeah, I mean, I think we are running out of time. We will talk about even ghosts in this. We will understand why we have to chant Harinam, right? Shraddha is, yeah. In fact, Prabhupada, see, look at Prabhupada's life. Prabhupada is greatest Acharya. Even Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan De, he donated, before his death, he asked Prabhupada to donate all his cows to Gaudiya Math, right? Donating cow is not a small thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, when Shraddha, food is offered, the Pinda Pradhan is done, if the ancestors who have left the body, if they become Devatas, they receive the food that we offer to Brahmana in the form of Amruta. And if they become an animal, they receive our food in the form of grass. If they become birds, they will receive in the form of fruits. If they become humans, they receive in the form of grains, right? Now, undecided souls will be stationed in Pitraloka. So this is one another important thing. Do we know when we do Pinda Pradhan, we ask this crow to come and take it. Why? Because any people, now here it comes, who is a Putra? Putra is someone who relieves his ancestors from Pitraloka. He is called a Putra. Putra means a son who relieves his parents from the Pitraloka, right? Now, when someone is in a dilemma, I mean, when a soul is put in dilemma, unable to decide whether the soul has to be sent to Swargaloka or Narakaloka, then he was stationed in Pitraloka, right? In Pitraloka, who is the king? In Pitraloka, the king is Airava. King of Pitraloka is Airava, means crow. So, when we do Pinda Pradhan, Airava brings them. So, they were given ride by the Airava. Our ancestors were given ride by Airava to come and eat the Pinda Pradhan that we are doing, right? That's why we ask the crow to come, right? Now, when we do Harinam Sankirtan, when someone gets initiated, when someone does this sadhana properly, and when someone goes back home, back to Godhead, 21 generations past and future are delivered. Do we know this? If today, in this life, if Saurya Prabhu goes back home, back to Godhead after spending 100 years or whatever years, his 21 generations past and his 21 generations future will go back to Godhead. Do we know that? They were delivered. That is the beauty of devotional service, right? Now, there is one more story. Now, during Ramayana, it is an example in Ramayana. What happens is, when Rama was leaving to exile, right? Dasharatha leaves his body, right? His father. Now 1 year after his exile, he goes to Gaya to offer this Pinda Pradhan to Dasharad. Now that time Sita Mata runs away, looking at the Sraddha, the Pinda Pradhan. Why? She literally runs away. And they were in Vanavas, right? After 1 year, they come to Gaya and tries to offer the Pinda Pradhan to Dasharad. And Sita Mata literally runs away. Then after doing Pinda Pradhan, Ram asks Sita Mata, Sita, why did, he asks, and Sita Mata replies, didn't you see Dasharad Maharaj came in the form of Brahman to eat Shraddh food? So Sita Mataji has the power of seeing him, whereas Rama could not. So Sita Mata looked at the Brahman, she identified, she saw Dasarath Maharaj, and she ran away from there. Now why when Rama asked, she says, right, I saw Dasarath Maharaj came in the form of a Brahman eating the Shraddh. Now if Dasarath Maharaj looks me wearing these that what do you call that, what kind of saree?
Narabattalu.
Yeah, the Narabattalu, right? If he sees me in this situation, he will literally lament. I don't want his soul to lament. That's why he ran away. This is what Sita says to Ram, right? So they come and eat. Literally, they come and eat, right? Now, in Bhagavad Gita 9.27, it said, whatever you, Krishna clearly saying, what is he saying? Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. The last sentence is important. As an offering to Krishna, right? So what does it mean? Whatever offerings we do, we have to do it for Krishna, because Krishna is Aham Bija Pratapa, means he is the seed giver right? Yeah. Now existence of ghostly souls. Should we discuss it or should we skip it? Should we discuss it? Last time also we made it optional. Yeah, it is not as yeah, it's not as scary as we usually think. Let's discuss. So ghost means many types of living beings, right? Ghost means many types of living entities. Ghosts, accordingly to Vedic understanding, are disembodied souls, or souls with only subtle body, means there is no body. That's what ghost means, right? They are troubled. Yeah, I'll give a glimpse of what it is actually. Okay, now what happens with ghosts is, ghosts can, how do ghosts have a body? No. Now how do they, why they become ghosts? If someone commits suicide, they become ghosts, right? Now if someone commits suicide, they become ghosts because they haven't burned the karma which was supposed to be burnt in their body, and they ended the body in between, the God-given body in which they were supposed to suffer, but they did not suffer. They end the body, that's why they become ghosts. Now they will have some desires, right? Usually what happens is, ghosts enter into human bodies and they kind of what do you call, they enjoy or they suffer whatever they are supposed to do. For example, if someone is suddenly slapping, it is not him who is slapping, it is the ghost inside him is who is slapping. There are definitely many ghosts they'll be around, right? And they enter through the 9 holes. Whichever hole is not clean, they enter through the. Why do we take bath before chanting? We take bath before chanting to keep all the holes clean, so that no ghosts enter into our body when we are chanting. Otherwise, if ghosts enter, the chanting will be like, like this. We want to do proper chanting. That's why it is recommended to take bath before chanting, because to make sure that the ghosts do not, of course, when you are chanting, ghosts cannot even come close. But for us to maintain proper cleanliness of the 9 holes, we need to take bath. That is the whole point of taking bath. Even in fact, Prabhupada has taken one house in Lucknow for a business, right? It was a haunted house. Not only about the business, Prabhupada, because of lack of money in ISKCON, right, in the beginning days, they used to acquire a lot of haunted houses, because haunted houses were sold at cheap price, right? They used to take haunted house, and Prabhupada used to tell the devotees to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly, so that they used to do kirtan like anything for 3-4 days after entering into the house, because of which 2 things used to happen. Either the ghost used to run away, or the ghost used to listen to the mantra attentively and get liberated. I mean, get a human body or something, burn their karma completely. That is what used to happen. So the benefit of chanting Harinam is, either you run away the ghosts, or you give liberation to the ghosts. That is the importance of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In fact, in our farmhouse, right, near Chevala, there is a dun that always plays Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare karke. There will be a tape. That is all. That will all, even in our houses we play it always. The advantage of that doing it is, of course, the indirect benefit is the ghosts will run away. The direct benefit is we will be hearing to Harinam. So that dun you will get in any ISKCON temple. It costs around 60-70 rupees. You can actually play it 24/7. It goes on and on for years, right? Yeah. So that is the reason why we should always do the Harinam Sankirtan to make the ghosts run away, and keep the 9 holes clean to make sure that the ghosts do not enter. At times, some people drink. Anyone who drinks, definitely they are completely in mode of ignorance. So obviously the ghost will enter into them, right? And they talk all nonsense. That's why when people are drunk, they talk all nonsense. Many ghosts will enter into their body and they do all kinds of nonsense. Whatever the ghost wanted to do, it will do it through his body. That is the reason why they do it, right? Even Lord Rishabhdev explains in Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, right, that ghosts are higher in power than human beings, right? Yeah. Now, types of ghosts. There are 4 different types of ghosts. We'll talk about 4 here. Bhutas, Pretas, Vetalas, and Pisachas. Bhutas, they possess the body, living body, who are in mode of ignorance. If a person is in mode of goodness, is possessed, then he has to identify his spiritual sadhana, intensify his spiritual sadhana. So we are all in mode of goodness, right? We know what is Harinam and why we should do. If still we are not feeling the taste of Harinam, means we have to intensify our sadhana, do more prayers, do more kirtans, do more readings of scriptures, so that we become better devotees. Now, Pretas, we all have experienced Preta bodies, yes, because this is not our first life, right? So we all have experienced our Preta's body. Another layer of body over the subtle body. Pindadan is performed to get this body. The Preta body is gotten through the Pindadan that happens in 11, 12, and 13 days after death, right? And the transitional body from this world to Yamaloka, and from there to hell, heaven, or Pitraloka, right? Then Vetalas. Who are Vetalas? Vetalas possess dead bodies. They do all kinds of nonsense with the dead bodies, right? It is something, topic out of the scope. So bodies not cremated properly as per prescribed norms, they will be possessed by Vetalas. Pisachas are the vampires with bodies who can actually suck blood, right? They're vampires with bodies. They're called Pisachas. Now, different means of protection. Now, if you want to protect yourself from ghosts, stay in mode of goodness, chant Vedic mantras, and Narsimha Kavacha chanting, lead a spiritual lifestyle and all. There is a Narsimha Stotra, right? What is it? Ugram Viram Maha Vishnum. That sloka is Narsimha Kavach. So we can chant that too. I will send that sloka to every one of you. You can chant that. And anyone who is chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and is following the regulative principles of pure spiritual life does not need to worry about ghosts. Anyone who is doing spiritual progress need not worry about ghosts at all. Now, this is the conclusion. We'll go to, okay. Now, heart attack situation. Now we will discuss in detail about what happens during death here, right? Okay. Yeah, Anand Prabhu is saying, Sant Kabir, Guru Govind Dana Kadena, Khake Lagoon Pav, Balihari Guru Apne, Govind Diye Batai. Anand Prabhu, I'm little weak in Hindi, so you can explain what it is.
It's actually my grandfather and my mother's father is Sant Kabir's Bhakta. He used, now my mama is doing, but before all they used to do in every Saturday bhajans in Saratnagar Hanuman temple.
Okay.
Here it says Guru Gobind dono kade kake lagu pai, Balihari Guru apne Gobind diyo batai.
Okay.
So it is Guru who shows us Gobind, so he is greater in our life.
Oh, about Guru. Yes. Yeah. The Guru, yes, absolutely, Prabhu, 100%. So a Guru who shows us Govind is a Guru. No other person than a regular person can become a Guru. Yes. So now, heart attack situation. What happens? Body parts start shutting down as resistance to death. So what happens? No one can resist death, right? Even the organs cannot resist death, right? So one by one, the organs keep shuts down. Eyes, nose, heart, lungs, liver, intestine, everything gets shut down when death comes. They're scared, so they'll just shut down, right? Body is so complicated, and no science can predict death, young or old person, right? Have we predicted COVID? No, right? Even it's just a small protein that is killing. It is not even a bacteria, right? Science itself has so many branches of study on each part of the body, but no science can actually explain death. Always be aware that body is temporary and start preparing consciousness to get rid of the fear of death, right? So one important thing that I want to mention here is, in our society, if anyone dies, what do? We go and do Harinam. We pray Krishna, hey Govinda, please let this soul reach a better destination. Maybe he might have done some sins, but still, please give him and Krishna, if not Krishna, Radharani listens to us, right? That is the advantage of being with devotees, right? So now we are very clear. Now death is like during death, we are so worried about death because we don't know what is there on the other side of death. Now for a devotee, the Garuda will come. The Garuda will come and take him, make the devotee who is in the pure goodness, mode of goodness, make him sit on that chariot, takes to Yamaloka. In Yamaloka, what happens? Chitragupta gives a nice seat to the person in mode of pure goodness and even offers obeisance to the devotee. Even demigods offer obeisances to devotees. What to speak of Chitragupta? Right? That is what kind of thing that why they were taken to Chitragupta. They were taken to Chitragupta to show others, people in mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness, to show all these people in the three modes, to show how the people in a pure goodness, Suddha Sattva, are respected. Right? That is why they were taken to Yamaloka. I mean, the Yamaloka, and then offered obeisances, so that at least the other three kinds, goodness, passion, and ignorance people, would try to be in a mode of pure goodness in future lives. Right? And after that, they will be taken to, the Vaikuntha Loka by the chariot of Garuda. Right? Now, when someone dies in devotees, there happen many deaths in our devotee families, right? So what happens after that is, there are many, devotees, the moment they listen, they go there and do Harinam like anything. They do Harinam, they do Hare Krishna Mahamantra like anything. They do Kirtan, Japa, and do a lot of bhajan, so that to convince Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna to give that soul a better body. So that is, even if you are not chanting, if you are in the, time and again, many devotees find, right, their spouse or their kids or their parents, they were not devotees. We don't have to worry about them much. Give them prasadam and pray for them. And the advantage of that is, when something or other thing happens to them, the devotees will come and pray for them, so that they get a better body. Or either they will be taken birth in a rich family, or they will take birth in a devotees family. Why do they take birth in a rich family? Not to become further rich and enjoy. It is not to think about earnings. Directly start doing your japa. Whereas in devotees family, because by default they are devotees, so you don't have to put extra stone there. You can directly start doing devotional service. The advantage of getting into either devotee family or rich family is to progress. You can further progress in devotional service to get a better body or better life after life, and finally reach Goloka. Right? Now, ultimately, all this knowledge from scriptures is of no good. Ultimate goal is Ante Narayana Smriti. So art of it should not be art of living. It should be art of dying, because we should know how to die. How to die? When we die, we should remember Krishna. Then Garuda will come for us. Right? With what consciousness we are dying matters before quitting the body. Always chant God's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This chanting should always go on. So Prabhuji and Matajis, try to buy that dhun that costs around 60 or 70 rupees. You have got even 120 rupees one also, depending on the quality. You can always play it. One, the ghosts will not be there in your house. Two, you always hear to that while working or doing something. Right? This will inculcate some good Krishna consciousness in our minds. Right? So this is the synopsis. So if you have any questions, we can discuss. I'm sure that you will, some of the other questions will be there, because this is a session on something that we don't know, on which we have got clarity. At least, did we get clarity on what happens after death, Prabhuji and Matajis?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yep, Prabhuji and Matajis, any other questions?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
we have to chant loudly or inner, slowly. Of course, always chanting loudly. Sometimes when I am going to bed, before the bed, I am chanting, sitting. Then slowly I bed down.
No problem, Mataji. You have
then it goes inner side when I sleep.
Not a problem, Mataji. You can chant in any way. Usually,
that's
actually, Srila Haridas Thakur, he used to chant 192 rounds.
Bah.
So 1/3 he used to chant very loudly, 1,000 he used to chant murmuring. I mean, one third he used to chant very loudly, 1/3 he used to chant very murmuring, and 1/3 he used to chant in the mind. So we can do in different ways. But what is recommended is when you chant, if you can hear it, that is enough.
Daily I can sit by 10 o'clock because there is no any disturbances. I can
Yes,
read
ma'am.
Bhagavad Gita one chapter, Manidvipa Varnana once, then chanting.
Harivol. Yes.
Then up to 12, 12:30, whatever it may be, I will be then because there is no any disturbances from 10 to.
Got it.
So that's why I chanting.
How many rounds you're
I
chanting?
heartily thankful to you, Prabhuji and Matajis, who are saying are connected me with you, because I didn't know what is the specialty of this month. Of course, Krishna Vande Jagadguram is always I am saying whenever.
Okay.
But this is the auspicious month and it is very what is called special to Krishna. I didn't know. So I very, very, very greatly thankful to both of you.
all glories to Prabhupada Mataji.
Because of something, a little bit I know.
All glories
Every
to
matter.
Parampara Mataji. We are nothing. We are just instruments. In fact, we are getting benefited out of bringing
Yes.
you people into devotional service. This is, we are doing nothing means nothing, literally nothing. So we are just Xerox machines. Yeah. Thank you for getting inspired with whatever Purushottama's prayers that are happening. I'm really glad that you people are getting inspired to it.
You
Yeah.
said
Yes, sorry, Prabhu.
you said when we are dead, devotees will go to Yamaloka, then they will go to the Goloka.
Prabhuji, actually devotees can choose where they want to go. They can directly go to Goloka. The advantage is the only, see how we have to even, okay, if I have to go a little deep into philosophy, a devotee is not, in fact, there will come a point where he is not worried where he is going. All that he wanted is Krishna Prema. Even there are devotees who can have a glimpse of what happens in Goloka sitting in Bhuloka. So when we go into that level of consciousness, we will realize. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the way you put faith in Krishna, the way he's gonna relieve to us. Once someone asked Prabhupada, do you see Krishna? He said yes. Right? So even Bhuloka becomes Goloka for devotees. It becomes so blissful. For example, last week we did Nagar Sankirtan. When we did Nagar Sankirtan, we did it for 2.5 hours. We did so excited. It was so, I can't explain the kind of happiness that we experienced. After 2.5 hours, everyone was coming and saying, Prabhuji, we saw Goloka. We got a taste of how the Kirtan happens in Goloka. When we were doing, after that Nagar Sankirtan, right? So this is what happens, Prabhuji. When we put full faith in Krishna and do chanting and, bhajan, I cannot explain in words. We should experience that. We will go to, once this COVID is gone, we all will plan one program in VSK. Then we will understand how it feels like what is called a blissful life. Prabhuji and Mataji, I can tell you, that moment you will feel money is nothing before that happiness. I can give it in written. You will definitely feel that money is nothing, because I had felt that. And many people had felt that. Many people have shared that, the feeling is like that. You will feel how Goloka feels, right? That is the beauty of, devotional service and Krishna Kirtan, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I think I will, if there are no further questions, I'll end here. Yeah. So,
You want to say Krishna is so much peaceful, is full happy, no
sorry, Prabhu, can you repeat?
work. Krishna has no work and he's happy. Then he has work. That is giving. Who is giving us?
So Krishna is supreme enjoyer, Saurya Prabhu. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. If everyone works, who will enjoy? So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, but for him, he has got many people who can work. For example, you have got Mahavishnu, who creates these Brahmandas, and he has got Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, who actually creates Brahma, and then there are Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, who actually works on every single soul, right? So you might get a question, what is the difference between Vishnu and Krishna? Krishna can emerge in different forms, right? Krishna is a son at home. Hare Krishna, Prabhu and Matis, can you hear me? Looks like there is a disconnect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear.
Yeah.
I was asking for 1 year, Krishna will have at least 1 hour work.
So, yeah, Prabhuji, I was actually about to tell that. So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, right? So yeah, so Krishna doesn't work because he has got, for example, you have got Vishnu, right? So the Mahavishnu, he creates all the creations, right? Then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu creates Brahma. Okay, Mahavishnu creates so many universes, and each universe there is Mahavishnu. Each universe there is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Brahma comes, and Brahma creates all the living entities. And each living entity there is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So there are Vishnus to work. Like that, different gods, demigods are limbs and body parts of Krishna, right? They work for him. So Krishna need not work. Now, why Krishna works? Who can actually just enjoy? He works because he's so merciful towards us. That's why he personally takes care of devotees, right? Now we will understand what is the difference between Vishnu and Krishna in future chapters, right? Yeah. Okay.
Prabhuji, one request.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
You are going to donating books, Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
So we want in Telugu.
Sure, Mataji. Yeah.
Because one of my student is given this book, small book. I always using this one.
Okay.
I am always carrying and reading this one.
Sure.
And some other, my Guru Mata is given some another book. I is reading in home, but I have one book from ISKCON. I didn't open at least when you are asked last week which book you are reading. So that then I will open Bhagavad Gita Yadatadam.
Okay.
When we are giving to somebody, at least they have to read at least 1 chapter, 2 chapters. At least they have to watch that one.
Correct, Mataji.
So here our locality are mostly they didn't know English. I simultaneously I am also not able to understand.
No, Mataji.
I need Telugu.
Sure, Mataji.
This week episode and last week episode I also need in Telugu Prabhuji complete.
Okay.
Because I need complete understanding of that what I am and soul, whatever it may be, complete.
Sure.
So
Sure,
complete.
Mataji.
I am not able to understand your
okay,
that
Mataji.
much
Actually,
of you.
Actually, I will try to get the Telugu recording and then we'll share it with you.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I am watching in a video some Nateshwini Mataji in Vizag temple. In YouTube also I am watching.
Okay.
How grateful you are, Prabhuji,
Sure,
and how elevated that much of, I don't know. You are complete IIT students, but you are willing a great path. You are choosing a great path and giving satsangas and such all things.
No, Mataji, we are happy that we are getting the association of all you devotees, which actually strengthens our devotee, and our parampara will be happy because you all are kind of putting your time and effort on, especially on Sunday.
Yes.
So
that's why I request you to give Telugu books only.
Definitely, Mataji. Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe we will actually the plan was to call each and every one of you during last week, but it was not possible. This week I think you will receive calls from DCS or me or Sucharita, and then we will collect some more information from each one of us. Yeah, Hare Krishna. So if there are no more questions, maybe we'll start Narsingharati.
Prabhuji, I have to.
Yes.
As you say Krishna have no work, then why Krishna came to the earth?
To enjoy the service that we offer. He came to earth to enjoy the services that we offer.
He why kill the Kamsa?
He killed Kamsa. He killed Kamsa out of affection on us, because Kamsa is torturing the devotees. Devotees were serving Krishna for Krishna's enjoyment, but Kamsa was torturing devotees. So he wanted to eliminate the hindrance.
His friends. He can call his friends and say.
Haribo, very nice question. But Krishna wants to serve his devotees coming personally. So Krishna could have, he could have asked his friends, but he's so affectionate towards his devotees. So there is a story of an elephant, right? The elephant was caught by a crocodile and it says Krishna. Then what happened? You heard? Yeah, Krishna himself
Then he
comes,
came.
right? Yeah, so that is what happens. Krishna wants to serve his devotees personally. He doesn't give that service to anyone else. Yeah, it is Gajendra Moksham. Thank you, Anand Prabhu. Yeah, Gajendra Moksham, if you hear it, Amula Vaikuntambulo Saudambuna, there is a story, you have to read it. It is so nicely explained, right?
I
And
see. I
when
read it.
yeah, when he comes, there is no club, there is no conch shell, nothing in his hands. Weaponless he comes, just by hearing to the shoutings of this elephant. That is Krishna. That's what I was saying, right? When we really, Krishna has 10,000 times more affection than what our father and mother had towards us. You know that? Yeah. So Anand Prabhu is saying, so yeah, thank you Anand Prabhu for reminding this. Sirikin Jeppadu, Shanka Chakramun Chedoye Sandimpadu. Sirikin Jeppadu means Siri.
Lakshmi kuda cheppadu.
He doesn't even tell Lakshmi. Sanka Chakramun Chedoyi Sandimpadu. He doesn't neither carry club nor conch shell. He carries nothing. He just, in fact, the story says he was actually holding Lakshmi Devi's sari edge. He forgets that he was holding that edge and he runs. And Lakshmi had to run behind him because he was holding her sari's edge, right? This is what happens with Krishna. Krishna is so affectionate, so affectionate. He doesn't care what happens to him. You know, there is a story. Krishna does a promise. He tells that I will not wear a weapon during Mahabharata war. That is what he promises to Duryodhana and Arjuna. He gives Arjuna. Arjuna and Duryodhana comes to him. Okay, it's taking time. Maybe we'll talk about the story in next session. But to give a small glimpse, Krishna promises that he's not going to wear a weapon in Mahabharata war. But there happens one situation where he had to wear the weapon. He wanted to kill Bhishma. Why? Because to save Arjuna, right? So if something really, really bad happens, he doesn't care about even his name, fame, and beauty. He can sacrifice anything for his devotees, right? That is the reason why Krishna himself comes. Yeah, that's it. So Prabhuji,
Prabhuji, I have two doubts which I have put it in chat. First one is regarding this: are harmful to human beings?
Sorry, Prabhuji. Actually, my internet got disconnected, so that went off again. I could not see the question. Please read it out. Yeah.
So these pretas, ghosts, etc. are harmful to human beings as they show in movies, and
Really?
how to get the Back to Godhead magazine.
Yeah, actually, bhutas and pretas are not actually harmful, Prabhuji. In fact, they cannot do anything because they were not given anything. They were not given mouth to speak. They were not given hands to hold. So they cannot do anything. They can do only by possessing others' bodies. They can possess only in bodies of people who are in mode of goodness. I mean, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. But they cannot touch the people who are in mode of pure goodness, who are devotees. But they can possess people in mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And when they possess, see, if someone is drinking, his mouth is completely dirty, and ghosts can definitely enter through his mouth. And it enters, and it does all. Do you know a person who is drunk doesn't know what he's doing? He cannot differentiate between a mother and wife. Do you know that? So it is done by the ghosts, not by him. This is how the ghosts or pretas does harm to others, right? That's why we have to keep the 9 holes clean. Yeah.
This Back to Godhead magazine, how can we get it in Hyderabad? Can we subscribe it from somewhere?
I'll get you that information, Prabhuji. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
As you say, Krishna knows to who should be whose future should be dead, and then why some members do beers and the government will say don't drink the drinks and
Haribol.
and all.
Yeah, we will discuss these questions, Saurya Prabhu. We'll discuss these questions, I think, for Saurya
You're
Prabhu.
only doing the bad, and you're only doing the bad to the bodies, some bodies, and tamoguna, that people and say, and
Yeah.
in Goloka, they.
Sorry, Prabhu. If it's okay, we will discuss this question in next session. I think we are running out of time. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah, we'll do Narsingh Aarti and then we'll close the session. Okay.